Good evening, beautiful people of God. It's Minister Laverne from the Restoring Life Restoration Center. I just want to thank everyone that's going to come on tonight. I want to continue to thank those who will post and continue to support our fundraiser. Tonight, I just want to come to you a little bit about what our goal here is at Restoring Life Restoration Center. So our mission is to help battered and abused women overcome the trauma of abuse, emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually, and equip them with tools to move forward to regain their confidence and self-esteem, their self-worth, and their quality of life. Our goal is to help educate and motivate, teach and inspire women how to overcome abuse in their lives. Our goal is to help them to be restored to their belief that they are beautiful in their hearts, minds, and souls. Our goal is to help them be able to communicate and establish their own independence that they once had. Our goal is to protect and guide them. We stand by our name, Restoring Life Restoration Center. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of our mission statement tonight, and I want to share with you also about what the fundraiser is for in this season. The goal is to get housing now, and that's what we've been doing here at Restoring Life Restoration Center. We're looking to purchase some property so that we can help house the women. Um, and I believe in this season, this is what God is doing. He is going to allow those doors to be open. We have been on the house hunt for the last couple of months trying to get this house up and running. So, once again, I want to thank all of you who are supporting the vision, those who are continuing to support. I also want to thank the two young ladies that won the raffle, Crystal Williams of New Jersey and Celeste Harris of New Jersey. I mailed your gifts out, ladies. You should be receiving them no later than Tuesday of next week. So once again, I just wanted to give you a little bit about the Restoring Life Restoration Center and what our goal is in this season. We will have counseling for the women here at Restoring Life Restoration Center also. So as I continue to come on each week to allow people to know that abuse is never okay. We continue to accept the things that people do to us and blame ourselves for it. But we are not to do that. That is not what God wants us to do. Um, and I'm going to give you each week I come, I'm going to give you a testimony, or I'm going to give you a piece of my life to let you know. And I'm not going in dated order. I'm just going by incidents that has happened to me and how grateful I am and how important that this vision that I have is. So, with me sharing this, I just, want everybody to know this is not not a setup. It's not a joke. It's real. Abuse is real. And even now with the COVID and people being home every day with mates and spouses, we know that the abuse rate has rose. So I'm going to give you a scenario of when you start letting abuse affect your household and your finances. Um, I was working for the state. I have worked for the state of New Jersey. I have been there for about 15 years before this incident happened. There was a young lady that worked on my job. She was actually a student, and I used to speak to her every day, but she never spoke. Then one time, they had put her up. She used to work on the ninth floor in my building, and they put her up where I worked. And I used to see her, and I used to say hi, but she never spoke. So I had went out on leave to have surgery, and when I came back, I was dropping my kids off to my mom's house. And I seen a young lady at the gate when I was pulling through. So when I got to work that morning, I seen her and I said, "Hey," I said, "How you doing?" I said, "That was me that blew the horn at you." She looked at me and she went into the office and she came back out and she said to me, "I know that truck." She said, "I've been in that truck before." The young lady gave me the license plate number on my vehicle. She said, "Is your license plate UHW 186?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "That's my license plate number." Now she knew my license plate number. She went back in the office. She came back out again and she looked at puzzled and she said to me, "Do you know this guy named Eli?" Well, I heard the name before, but it wasn't my husband's name. And there was a picture sitting on my desk of me, my husband, and my son. And I looked at the picture and I asked her, I said, "Is that Eli on the picture?" And she started crying. And I asked her what was wrong with her. And she said to me, she said, he said he wasn't married, he didn't have any kids, and he lived with his aunt. I looked at the young lady and I said, "Do I look like somebody's aunt?" So right as she was telling me the story about, the relationship that she had been in with my husband for a couple of years, my husband called my job phone. And when he called, I wasn't even mad. I just said, "Hey," he said, "Hey, baby." And I said, "Hey," I said, "I got somebody here who knows you." And he went off. At that point, he already knew. But when you can be so callous to be dealing with someone that works on your wife's job and you know that they work on your job, I think the job, why would you even deal with them? So I told the young lady, I said, "Listen, this ain't even between me and you, this between me and my husband." Literally, I put my husband out for a couple of days and I took him back. At that point, that whole week that I went to work, the young lady, she was talking about me. She was coming to my desk. People on my job was like, "You messing with that girl's husband and you walking around here, she's and thinking you right by what you do." No, she wasn't right by what she did, but I guess she was broken because he sold her false dreams and hopes. So I said, "Listen," I said, "I have two kids I have to raise." I said, "Once again, this ain't between me and you." She left, she went back to her desk and came back and she stuck her hands in my face. And right at that point, I said to myself, "Laverne, you have two kids that you have to raise. You cannot allow anyone to make you lose your job that you done had for 15 years. So when I give you this story, I held on to my job. I didn't allow it to get in a way where I lost my job because I had kids to feed. So we can't allow ourselves to get caught up in situations that make us lose finances when it comes to our household. We have to know when to get out. Again, I stayed. I went back. I kept going back. But what I believe is I was healing in everything that I was going through in that marriage. So when I did leave, I wasn't even broken when I left. I didn't even want to look back when I left because I believe my healing was taking place with all of the nonsense that was going on. And I kept dealing with it and I kept going back. I just felt like at that point, I was healed. I didn't cry no more. I had a peace within myself when I left. And again, I have so many stories that I can tell because I stayed in it for 11 years. So, you know that coming on live and talking about abuse or giving you three scenarios of stuff I went through, this is just a piece, not even a piece of what I went through. But I just want to make it clear that we should not allow it. We should not allow abuse. Call someone, talk to someone. I know we get fearful, with telling people because we feel like the person is going to harm us. Sometimes we have to lose in order to gain. So guess what? When I left, I packed up all my stuff. I left and I had nowhere to go. My stuff literally stayed on my truck for a whole week. I had to stay with my sister with my kids, and I found an apartment that week. So we should never have to get to a point where we have nowhere to go. Set it up, get out, talk to somebody. It's not fair to your kids, especially if you have kids. It's not fair to them to have to go through that, to see their mother be abused. And I'm gonna even one week when I come on allow you to hear my son's story, because my son not just was I abused, my son was abused. Now my daughter was only 4 years old when I left my husband, but my son was well aware of the abuse. And like I said, not only was I abused, but my son was abused. So one week I'm gonna let my son get on and share his experiences at a young age, seeing his mother being abused. And I used to hear my son say, "Mom, we gonna leave, Mom, we gonna leave." And I'll be like, "Yeah, we gonna leave. We leave and go back." My son's face would be so tore up when I went back. He was so broken at such a young age. So I just want to share that with you. We should never allow our kids to go through this. You know why? Because as they get older, they don't forget. They don't forget. They remember these things. My son say today he would never put his hand on a woman because they don't deserve it. And he'll say, if I gotta be with a woman that try to push me to put my hands on them, I won't be with them. He said, because you know why? That is not a healthy relationship. So once again, my heart goes out to those who didn't make it. You have women who died and didn't make it out of abuse, or in continuing to die because they so afraid to call and speak to someone about what is going on in their lives. But you have to find yourself in that and say, I'm gonna get out. You can't go back. Once you leave, you can't go back. You know why? Because they're not going to change. They're going to continue to do the same thing. Why? Because you came back. And so they figure if you came back, oh, she not leaving. She just gonna keep on coming back, and I'm gonna keep on doing what I do. No, it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable at all. And yes, I went through it. I got out. That's why I'm here today to share with you what the Lord has brought me here to say. Not what Laverne want to say. I'm telling you my experiences, but God is speaking in all of this. So I'm gonna pray for someone to pick up their phone that's going through and will call and ask for help before it's too late. Don't let it be too late, because you're not gonna know when it's too late, because you're gonna be 6 feet under. So once again, I have a hotline number here at Restoring Restoration Center, Restoring Life Restoration Center. Our number is 302-724-1548. If you need someone to talk to, we're here to talk to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I will never not pick up the phone, or someone here at the shelter will never not pick up the phone. We will always be here for you. So once again, I thank you. I'm going to come on every week and tell you the importance. I'm going to give you the statistics of abuse, how many people are in abusive relationships, how many women have died. Nobody wants to lead us. This is not how God wants us to lead this world, being abused by somebody. So I'm asking you, please find it in your heart. It is not only a passion of mine, but if I can help you because I got out, I'm willing to help you. So once again, I thank you for coming on this evening. Please post. Please let somebody see this. Somebody's crying out. They just scared to pick up the phone. They just scared to tell someone. And once again, I thank all of those who continue to support the fundraiser. It is for housing, and I just want you to keep following me, because you're going to see the growth. You're going to see what it is that God is doing for the people in this season. Just because it's a pandemic doesn't mean God can't get you out of something, or God can't bless you in the midst of it, because I'm here to tell you that I'm a testimony, and God is truly blessing me in this season. So what God gave me to give others, I'm going to give to them. So I thank you on tonight, and I will be back next week to share with you another testimony of something that I went through. Again, I stayed in it for 11 years. So, coming on, staying on, 10 or 15 minutes is not giving you the whole story. But if you look at me and I wasn't on here telling this story, you would have never knew I was abused. Why? Because I would never came on and said it. A lot of my friends don't know that I was abused until now that I'm posting stuff and I'm getting on live. They like, oh my God, I never knew you went through that. I worked with you all of them years and you never showed it. You kept a smile on your face. Honey, sometimes when you keep it bottled up in you, that can hurt the worst. So once again, I thank you for tonight, for listening. Continue to support, continue to post. I thank you. And I'm going to continue to give back. I'm going to have another fundraiser. I'm going to let you, not a fundraiser, I'm sorry. I'm going to have another free raffle that I'm going to raffle off some stuff and maybe more people will join this time. But once again, I thank you and I want you to have a blessed evening.